And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Today is Tuesday. We should see some light showers at some point today. I believe about a 30% chance after 2 o'clock. Now, if you look outside the screen porch today, you might see a little bit of fog. We can see that through roughly around 8 a.m. this morning. Now, there is going to be hot. 87 is what we're expecting today before temperatures start to cool down over the next few days. Right now we're sitting at 72 as you start your Tuesday. We hope it's a good one for you. But 87, I'm tired. I really want just 80 would be fine, would it not? I don't want it too cold, but I don't want it too hot. It just can't satisfy me, can you? I'm sure there's a lot of others like that. I like it cool in the mornings and about 75 to 80 to top the day there. Clarkdale joining us. Matt Green, good to see you there. Pat is up. Miss Ann is joining us. Troy. Oh, I even see Barry up. Morning. We've got a lot of headlines to discuss of what's going on in and around the U.S. of A. overnight. Last 24 hours, we got that up and coming in just a moment. And then we'll get into all of your local headlines beginning at 7. You don't want to miss out on it. We'll have some folks coming by to talk about Butler Fest. That will be here before we know it. That's coming up this weekend. Got that and so much more. Hope you'll join us. Let's now go to Collinsville and get our good word for the day.
In high school, one of my science teachers had the class form teams of 2 to compete in the egg drop contest. You know, you build a contraption attacked from a drop off the top of the bleachers at the football field. Now, I'm not going to say we had the best contraption, but I will say we put our egg in a sandwich-sized Ziploc packed with packing peanuts. Then, in a quart-sized Ziploc with more packing peanuts. Then, in a gallon-sized Ziploc with more packing peanuts. And our egg survived, along with just a few other teams. So get this. Genesis 7 and 8 continue the classic narrative of Noah and the ark. In chapter 7, God instructs Noah to take his family into the ark, along with the animals. 7 pairs of each clean animal, 1 pair of each unclean animal, and 7 pairs of the birds of the sky. Everyone enters the ark, and then the floods come. It covers everything. Higher than the mountains. Of those outside the ark, the Bible says this: God wiped out every living thing that was on the face of the earth, from mankind to livestock, to creatures that crawl, to the birds of the sky, and they were wiped off the earth. Only Noah was left and those that were with him in the ark. Things get wild, but Scripture says that Noah and those on the ark were spared. Months later, when the waters recede and the earth dries, God calls Noah and his family to come out of the ark, along with all the livestock. God, through the ark, spares Noah and his family's lives by providing a way through the terrible storm. Unlike a class of high schoolers who may or may not protect an egg from a great fall, God, without question and without a doubt, provides a contraption, a vessel for Noah's safety and salvation. When facing our storms in life, whether sin or circumstances, God has provided a way through those storms in the Lord Jesus Christ. When we trust him, when we enter into his ark of salvation, we are indeed saved. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Hope you enjoyed that message. It's always good to get a good one for the morning to get everything started, is it not? I thought so. Again, as we said, 72, and it's dark outside. We've got sunrise coming in just a little bit. It's not quite there yet. As we start to look over headlines that are shaping America, does the name, and I just want to point it out, we'll just say his own words and not give an opinion to this. A guy named Bill Nye, N-Y-E, science guy. Here he is. That's a picture of him, so that you will know it. And this all leads to, and I won't show the top part of this, it says an ugly word that it should not, but he made a prediction last year. Well, let's just pull this up. Here it is. He made a prediction last year that he said the best way to stop hurricanes was to vote for Kamala Harris. We would like to point out so far we have not had a major hurricane just yet. She's not in office. Seriously, how do you tie? Maybe he was joking. Maybe it was all a joke. I don't know, but you cannot tie. And if he truly thinks that way, bless his heart. That's the best way I know that. Comey, as we all know who he is, James Comey, he was supposed to be arraigned on Thursday. They're moving up to tomorrow for security measures. Whatever, something made them think that they should move ahead a day early. James Comey will be arraigned on Thursday. I watched this, and you can look it up. I'm not going to play it, but you can look this up. That said a word it shouldn't have. I should have brought that down just a little bit further there. That was quick. But I watched it. And what was the guy, Odie, that used to do the stand-up comedy that always had the glass that stood around?
That's Ron White.
No, the one before him. What, Foster's? Was it Foster's?
Oh, Foster Brooks.
Foster Brooks. Anybody remember that guy that used to be slurred? And Ron actually is drinking.
Yeah.
But
Foster never drank.
this, she gave a speech to students there and at Harvard. And if she wasn't drinking, she put on a very, very good act. She slurred and stumbled, and it gave all the vital signs there that she had just one too many mint juleps.
Yeah.
My, oh my. And do you know this guy? This guy that is running for Virginia AG. He's a candidate. His name is Jay Jones. And I'm going to show you exactly. The New York Post, as this is posted on Twitter, they made a post about this. This guy is running for, again, let me say this, Virginia AG. And there are people now asking him to step down. This is why. And if you read all this, you can look any of this up. He said that if more cops were killed, they wouldn't shoot as many people. Seriously, can you believe that someone that wants you to elect them would make a statement about law enforcement being hurt? Okay, Odie's saying it doesn't shock him. Does it you? I sure would like to have America back where everybody was proud of where they lived and, well, we can agree to disagree. There was a time. Oh, occasionally, don't get me wrong, there was somebody that was unruly that needed to be hushed. Close the door on, hang the phone up on, that kind of thing. But, man, we've really gotten into a generation that's totally different from that. This is what he looks like up close there if you'd like to read about him. jjones.com is where he's at, up in Virginia. I don't know if anybody's going to cry over this or they're going to send her an extra ink pen to make sure that she fills it out correctly. But Rosie is applying for citizenship in Australia.
I'll help her.
Would you help?
I'll help her.
She is acting like she'll never come home. There will be a day, and y'all mark my word, she'll want to come back. We'll see. AI, as I used to call it, Al. Well, it was a little eye. It looked like Al. As we read more into this, as we know, there's a lot of companies dumping tons of money, and it does do a lot of things. It's a lot of unknown. MIT has been studying this, and they're saying at this point that the companies who have dumped all this money into it are not getting their money back out of it. It hasn't shown profitability at this point for doing all this. Are they moving too quick? And you're absolutely right. She was, it's Ireland where she's trying to. She had visited Australia when she's applying for this. She touched down over there and done that. And I'm talking about Rosie. Will she stay? We don't know. But good luck on her citizenship. But you're absolutely right on that. I said that wrong. Do you know who Jack Smith is? Let me show you his picture. Do y'all remember this guy? He's the attorney and former special counsel for the U.S. Department of Justice is who he is. Have y'all been reading all of this of what he did during that Trump administration, how they spy? I call it spied. It was nearly a dozen senators that they tapped their phone, emails, text messages. This was back in 2016, and listened to everything that went on because they tried to get them into the Trump Gate thing. All of that. I don't think they had done anything wrong. They just said they liked Donald at that point. This could get very nasty before it's over as more and more stuff is brought out. Cash Patel and them are finding more and more at the FBI each day there. The government is still shut down. They voted on it 5 times so far. Nothing has happened. I forget how many millions it costs each day the government is shut down. It's still out there.
Schumer shut down.
The Schumer shutdown. That's what they're calling it. And let me show you this. This was from Newsweek. And let me just show you a quick glance. This includes California, New York, Illinois, Washington, New Jersey, Oregon, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Colorado, Connecticut, Utah, Rhode Island, Maine, Vermont, Washington, D.C. are all the states and Washington, D.C. that want to give free health care to non-citizens of the U.S. of A. Again, this is Newsweek, as you'll see there. That's them right there. Nothing south of the Mason-Dixon line, is it? But again, there's certain privileges that are given to United States citizens. Wait a minute. Odie, are you a citizen? I am, and my health care is not free.
Nope.
I'm buying my own. The people that work can only pay for those who don't and give to those who are not citizens so much. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't give to countries that need help. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying to be recognized as a United States citizen, you need to first be a citizen. That's my stance on it. Maybe you agree or disagree. There's lots of talk. You know how the rumors start down at the hair salon. That's usually where it all begins. As we go to Pennsylvania, well, the little town voted a few years back not to allow Walmart in. Well, they were afraid, and one of the ones that stood the test of this is Williamsville. I remember when Walmart came to Philadelphia, they said it's going to shut it down. Well, you know what? It didn't. It made it. Now, was there other mom and pop stores that didn't make it because Walmart came to town and slashed prices? Absolutely. Well, this little Pennsylvania town didn't want to let them in. Monroeville. It's the mall there. Walmart has eased in and bought the mall. What are they up to? What are they going to do? Is the mall going to be Walmart? Well, we don't know. But they own it now. We'll see what becomes of it. We still have 200 hikers that are stuck Mount Everest there. They have not been rescued yet. Big snowstorm came up and they can't go any further. They're trapped there. They've gotten a few, but 200 still remain trapped on that. We found out this week that the Supreme Court has declined, and hopefully I'll say her name correctly, Ghislaine Maxwell Epstein. Y'all know who I'm talking about? She's been declined. Trump has not really said anything. He has been asked. P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, I think Trump did say Puff Daddy had people contact him. He said, lots of people asked me for pardons. And he left it at that. Then he was asked about Ghislaine. Would he pardon her? He said, I'm looking at it. I've got it. Didn't say whether he would, he wouldn't. This always worries me. Your Second Amendment rights are only as good as who you elect to Congress and to the Senate in the U.S. of A. Australia, on the other hand, police are seizing weapons from dozens of owners who reject the government authority, who don't agree with them, is basically what that is saying. That amendment was put there for a reason, for you to own those. Those forefathers were a lot smarter than you think they were. A judge is blocking federal troops from going to Oregon. It's almost as if they don't want to protect America, isn't it? That's my 2 cents on that. That's the way I read it. You may read it a little differently than I, but that's not right in my opinion. Miami, they've gone to court. The city of Miami, those that believe in this in Miami, over and over and over, and they are finally giving up. In Miami Beach, that rainbow crosswalk is gone now. They tried to hold out to keep it there, and, well, it's gone. I don't know how I feel about this. My wife had cancer, as many of you did or have. It's a horrible thing. And I'll relate her story to this story. I can remember her taking chemo, And I guess in your mind you don't realize just how powerful that stuff is until your hair starts falling out. Well, hers did. We went and bought her a wig, and she wore it one time, not out of the house, and decided that she wouldn't do that. And she got herself a do-rag, and she faced the world and went on. In New York, they're looking at making insurance companies pay for this new treatment that would cool your scalp and possibly keep your hair. It would cost the insurance companies anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. The question being here, is that a price, an extra cost that you should endure yourself if you want to try that, or take the treatment and go on, and insurance shouldn't be held accountable for that. We didn't use it. She was okay. Her hair grew back. She's doing fine now. There's two ways of looking at it. I don't know the answer to that. As I proposed that, I don't have an answer on that. 21 guns will soon be firing off as another man has been identified from Pearl Harbor, 1941. It's as amazing as we look at this. Of North Carolina is where he was from. He is laid and he's been brought up 3 times more recently for another chance at identifying who they were, and they did identify this time. He was Navy Fireman First Class Edward D. Biden. He was 29. He was from New Bern, North Carolina. He is finally going home. I'm a chicken. Let's just go ahead and say that when it comes to getting out of a good aeroplane. Unless it was ever there a problem with the plane, I might could muster up the guts to pull a parachute and jump out. I'm scared to death of that. Parachutes don't do well for me. Yesterday, an instructor in New York, and I guess they call it, is it tandem jumping? He jumped. His parachute, for whatever reason, they got hung on the plane. You remember the scene from Rambo where he jumps out of the plane and he's hung on the side and he has to take his knife? Well, the instructor had no parachute. The tandem axle had a backup. The tandem participant had a backup small parachute. He landed in some trees. The instructor fell without. I cannot imagine. I don't know if you have a heart attack before you reach ground. I don't know what would happen. I don't want to find out. The best way for me to do that is never jump from an aeroplane. That scares me to death. Would you do it?
A video. Oh, yeah.
Have you ever done it?
Not yet.
Odie claims he's going to do it. Good luck. He only made it no, it wasn't even, I think it was 2 weeks. The French Prime Minister has resigned. He's out of there. I touched on it, read that over the weekend. Bless his heart, just couldn't handle it, I guess. We have the most horrible of horrible things. A mother is supposed to be, well, the woman that protects her children beyond, against anything. She stands in front, protects them, the kids stand behind. We have a Texas mother who is charged with shooting 4 of her children. 2 passed away. You know where my mind is going. A 2-year-old little boy was killed in Georgia at a daycare while the lady that was taking care of him slept on a couch. A dog killed that little boy. Breaks my heart to even tell you that story. Remember the NFL player we talked about yesterday, a guy named Mark Sanchez? And again, I don't watch NFL, so I don't know when he played, what he done. But he did play it at some point. How long ago? Was it recent? Not too long ago. He was a quarterback. His charge has been upgraded to felony now, felony battery, where he attacked that 69-year-old man. Apparently, it was over a parking place. He jumped in. The old man protected himself, apparently. Again, there's details we don't have. And Sanchez was stabbed, and the man was beat nearly to death. But they arrested Sanchez, not the elderly fella there. That's a few of the headlines shaping America. We're going to be right back with your weather forecast to find out what's going to happen today. All that's next. We'll be right back.
For over 40 years, you've been able to count on Watt Equipment in DeKalb, Mississippi. They've got your Massey Ferguson's brand new 23 up to 135 horse cab and air tractors. They've got all your hay equipment needs, all your bush hogs. If your tractor needs it, they got it. Also remember, they service all makes and models, whether it's green, orange, blue, red, or yellow. They can get your parts in, they can do your service on your equipment. Don't forget Watt Equipment, DeKalb, Mississippi.
The Scotty Ray Report studio is sponsored by Environment Masters, providing hassle-free heating and cooling, plumbing, and electrical services since 1957, and now serving Meridian homeowners.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Welcome back as we got our record highs and lows. It was back in 16. We had a high of 94 today. Back in 64, a few years before that, our cool low was 34 of that day. That was chilly, right at that freezing degree mark. Here's our outlook for today as we reach 87 across the state of Mississippi. We'll see that in Meridian, Columbus, 85 in Tupelo, even South Haven, a little bit cooler there as you get near that Tennessee line. As we go south, it's warmer, as we'll see that 88 in Jackson, 87 Vicksburg, McGee, 88 down on the Gulfport area there, about 83 today. Not bad at all. As we look at nighttime lows tonight, we're going to hit about 68. Nothing wrong with some 55, is it? But we don't have that yet. Hang on to that. 68 Meridian, 69, even 70 for an overnight low there in Laurel. It'll be warm. As we go to Bama to look at our highs today, 85 in Demopolis. We'll see 85 also there in Tuscaloosa. Hamilton, Alabama, about 81. And as we go over to Auburn country, still holding steady at 85. This is what we're showing across Southland today. Warmer weather moving into Louisiana out of Texas, and it should be making its way here. I'm ready for a cool down. Here's our 7-day outlook as we look at this. 86 today, 87. 30% chance of rain today. Again, mostly after 2 o'clock this afternoon. Now, we should see fog today through about 8 a.m., and it'll start going away. I'm starting to see some daylight outside. 84 tomorrow with only a 20% chance of rain. As it does get better, we've got 81 on Thursday. The possibility of 70-degree weather on Friday, 78 for high. We should see 81 on Saturday. It's going to be perfect weather for any event going on this weekend. 83 on Sunday, and we should see 84 coming back to work on Monday. As we go all the way through October the 21st, we'll have a hot day there on the 14th and the 15th and start cooling down somewhere around the 18th all the way down toward the 21st. They're getting back into the 70s is what we're expecting. Again, that's what we're expecting. What's happening with the fishing today? Let's go out to Clarkdale Super Red. Looks like a major time to fish today will be at high noon through about 2 o'clock. Not bad at all. A minor time, and it will be right there at dark 30, 5:47 to 8 o'clock. I'd go ahead and go on out there about 5 and try it if I were going. Sunrise happens at 6:53. That's right now. Sunset will hit at 6:31 this afternoon. Wind's going to be calm, about 5 miles an hour this morning. Well, let's talk about hunting. How good is it as we go out to Wimberley Taxidermy? Today is best. That's not bad at all. Again, your time to hunt today will be 12:10 to 2:10 p.m. this afternoon. It'll be after dark, after the next best time. So a midday hunt is perfect today. Good luck to you there as we look at this. And again, around a 5 mile an hour wind today. Again, you can't beat getting out there after work, can you? What's happening with the tropics? Here's what we've got as we go back to take a look here. 10% chance of this messing with Mexico over here. Most likely nothing. But we'll watch this at a 90% chance of happening. That's AL95 is what we see. Now let's go back to radar and look at this. This still shows signs that it's going to take a right turn Clyde as we look at all of this. Here we go. As we pull this up, as we look at Doc's Toyota radar, that's going to go away from it. It's going to take a right-hand turn just like all the rest have. We have been some kind of fortunate this year when it comes to all of this. Nothing happening here in the Gulf of America. As we go up, we'll see that Hattiesburg is covered this morning in fog, and you'll see this back over drifting around Vicksburg. We even have dense fog advisories there. We do have chances in the Meridian area, but south and west a lot bigger. And again, we're showing that from anywhere from Laurel all the way down to Biloxi. Be careful if you are heading south. Only way to put it there. Already 6:55, and again, we're going to find out about Butler Fest coming up. It's going to be a big deal. We'd love to have you a part of that. That's going to happen this weekend there. We'll find out all about the entertainment and everything that's going to be going on with that. We've got so many headlines that will be shaping the Meridian area that we want you to hear about. That happens at 7. Odie's here. We're making coffee. Elena will join us as well. How about you? We'll be back in about 3 minutes live at the Scotty Ray Report. See you then.